Hi everyone, this is Anna and welcome to my channel. Over time, in videos like these, I'll fill you in on all things money that you never learned in school but wish you had. You may have seen in my first video where I shared with you where I spent my income this past year. For those who don't know how to track your spending, what do I use? So for high level net worth and loan payoff amortization schedules, I use Excel. So these are hypothetical numbers, but I just wanted to share with you what my spreadsheets look like. So on the first couple rows here, I have my checking and savings account, which is essentially my most liquid sources. And I actually track this about twice a month, but for illustration purposes, I've changed these numbers to show month to month tracking. So personal checking, you might have a savings account, and then I like to have a column here that shows the total amount of cash that I have in hand. And then the next grouping of assets are the assets that are a little bit less liquid. So first here are the three properties that we have: the primary home, the townhome rental, and the Chicago rental. And then after that are the investments accounts. Got here a Roth IRA, just an outside investment account, 401k, and any 401k rollover accounts that you might have when you leave an employer and you transfer your 401k outside into, say, an IRA. And so then I have another column here that shows total retirement accounts and then the total assets, which should be the total that you have across the board, across all assets. And then from here, I track my credit card balances, then the mortgages associated to the real estate properties. And then I like to have a total for the total real estate loans that are outstanding. And then, as you know, I have student loans. So this is just hypothetical numbers as far as what my student loan balances might look like. Then a total of the total liabilities, and then personal net worth. And the key thing here with net worth is that you want to make sure that you see these numbers generally trending upwards to make sure you are headed in the right direction. What I also have here is a monthly spending tab. So I do track my monthly spending. These are the different categories of spending that I have. And the way I keep track of this, I use a tool called Mint. If you go to mint.com, this is a free tool which essentially keeps track of, if you link Mint to your credit cards or your checking accounts, it will download and track your expenditures. And then you can update the categorizations on here. But for example, so for kids' activities, I categorized it that way. And this shows the amount of money that was spent. And then I would take these numbers that track all of my expenditures that are linked to my accounts, and I would summarize that here on Excel. So for example, you see here education, that was the student loan payment. You see kids, activities, and this was for their Korean language school classes. So that's the 470 that you see here. Financial, this is actually life insurance. So if you wanted to, so this is a great illustration of if you wanted to update this, you go in here, you see that this is life insurance, and it's actually categorized as life insurance. So I guess that goes under the category of financial. So then looks like that's fine. If I wanted to update it, you just click on it and just pick whatever category makes sense to you. All right. So then you go back, bills and utilities. You see, okay, well, what was that? I've got Netflix and then my cell phone bill. So then I actually have them as separate categories. So I put Netflix, $20 here as being entertainment, and a cell phone here for $40, and going across. So you might notice here that this number, the $2,031, is different from this $2,307. So the difference really is what doesn't get downloaded here that I track separately is our expenditures on Amazon. If I took that number out, you'll see that the total here matches the total amount here, the $2,032. And so if I add that back, when I pull in the balance of how much I spent on Amazon, this is a bit more of an accurate representation of how I spent my money over the past month. So I think Mint is a great tool. There might be better tools out there, but for now, this seems to work for us. I recommend, if you're looking for somewhere to start, using a free tool like this should be sufficient for your purposes. I hope this helps and that you've enjoyed this video. Please share in the comment section below what's helped you in planning for your financial future.